the boat.
So even for you, with with what you're doing in your gig at Rowan, how much of it do you feel is content driven versus how much is that emotional side of just trying to wrap people along with the stories? Do you feel like your approach now is more heavily weighed on how you can just engage kids through things that maybe aren't content related? It's just for them to actually buy into liking you and your stories first, and then that's kind of what leads them down the rabbit hole? Or is content still the driving factor? Just from an ed point of view.
Oh, I know. Oh, man. Well, you hit on something. I mean, everything you say just hits on anything. That's why. So, you know my wife, Hilda. You've met her. Okay. So here's, all right. So, and I always said, if you don't want pity, don't marry a smart woman. Right. So what happens is she taught preschool developmental kids 3 through 5 for like 30 years. When you're teaching that clientele, call it that, first of all, they could care less what you know. Nothing is content. I mean, a kid 4 years old who has a problem processing isn't going to say, "Oh, that's an interesting topic. I want to know more." That's not it. So people who teach that kind of situation, in that situation, they're getting their attention. Okay. So I remember when I started teaching here way, way, way back, I was telling you, I was in the kitchen and I said, I'm noticing that a lot of these students, they don't know who Duke Ellington is. They don't know Count Basie. They don't know this. They don't know that. I mean, I did when I grew up. I knew it. I did the same thing we all do. You tend to look at everyone else through your own lens.
Yeah.
Which is, you'll do it until it bangs you up so much, you'll just stop doing it. But what happens is, I was telling her that, and she's sitting down, she's going like this. And when she does that, I know that, all right, she's just lining up the crosshairs because the shot's coming.
You sunk my battleship.
Exactly. So she says that. And I said, well, what? I see you're looking at me. She goes, no, I'm just listening to you talk, which now now it's loaded and ready. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, because I recognize this behavior. It's coming down a pike. I said, what? She goes, no, I'm just listening. I said, no, talk to me. She goes, Danny, I teach preschool developmental kids. That's what they called it there. And she said this, and this is it. 90% of teaching is getting their attention. The other 10 is whatever you're teaching. Math, science, blah, blah, blah. That's it. And I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. She goes, yeah, teaching has nothing to do with the topic. Your topic is what you went to school for, what you're interested in. But teaching is, I'm over here. This is why you should like it.
Yeah.
That's it. Once you do that, then you're sharing what you love. But you just can't share it in the beginning unless they're looking in your direction. And I was like, whoa, that kind of messed me up because I'm looking at it from Duke, Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, Michael Brecker, Thad. And she's looking at it like, I'm over here. This is why you should look at me. And I was like, whoa. So that saying of meeting them where they're at and then trying to find something that's interesting, that's what it is. A student plays trombone, never transcribed before. They listen to JJ, they can't do that. They listen to Conrad, they're not going to do that. They listen to Rossellino, they're going to sell the horn, right? You put on Benny Green, that's accessible. That's you could kind of do just the first couple phrases. Little chunks, not big chunks. Don't learn the solo, learn the first phrase. They do it because if you could do something that's a little bit, like a little chunk, then you're teaching them a process to be successful. Your goal isn't to be great. Your goal isn't to be the best. Your goal is to fall in love with this process. Because if you fall in love with it and you love if you love the practice, you'll become great. Being great is the result of liking the process. So if the process is Benny Green is attainable, grab 1 or 2 phrases, just get a little bit, because once they realize they can work at something and grab it, that's an energy that spreads to other things. So I'm realizing, wow, okay, I redid my whole thing, and it took me a minute to kind of realize it's not about me teaching the information. It used to be cool because people came in knowing it a little bit, but no, not anymore. It became, how do I get them to like it and be interested? You're a salesman, you're acting. It's 90%. It's not half and half. I mean, it looks good on paper to say, well, I keep it content driven. I don't care about the content. Don't care about the content. You know anything about Messiaen's modes of limited transposition? You weren't dying to know that until you realize how cool it could be when you played with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It almost gets introduced as a toy, and then you have a joy in working with it. So that means you found a process. You can call it practicing, call it a process, call it playing, call it whatever you want. But that teaching them to love the process of getting better was the trick, and that really had to do with. I would ask them questions. I mean, to make it concrete, a student would come in who seems to be, they want to be in jazz. They're not sure what to do. I just asked them, I said, who do you like? Oh, I like, because I'm giving them all this stuff thinking they're going to love it. They don't know the names. Who do you like? And they mentioned somebody's names. I don't know, Johnny Brajol, whoever. And I said, well, who's this? Who's Johnny? I don't even know who he is. Say, show me on YouTube. Just by asking him to show me, enable him. You know what I mean? So now he's awake. Why? Because I'm kind of relating to where he's at. I don't know Johnny Brajol. So he pulls it up, and there's some guy who's playing like G minor, da 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 da, and he's like moving his head, watching it. And I'm thinking, holy smokes, this is G minor, slow funk beat, and the guy's just playing. But I'm looking at this student, and he's into it. Somehow he likes this person I never heard of, just somebody who posted something. So I said, you like that? He said, yeah. I said, then pick it up. And he goes, really? Learn it? And I said, yeah, you like that? Do it. I would have never assigned it. I would have never assigned this G minor Johnny Brajol thing. Anyway, the student does it, comes back next week, loves it, because he was able to do something he liked. So I have to learn as a teacher, show me what you like. I look at what you like, and I figure what's in there that I can get them to copy, as opposed to jamming it and throwing it at them. I've done that before, but that's what's kind of different. And now, after COVID, it's really that. I don't even question that anymore. They come in and they say, what do you like? And they'll pull up 9 times out of 10. It's just some other student their own age. They're not even looking at the masters, some of them. They're looking at their own friends who post. A lot of people posting just anything. I try and find something that they like. You show me what you like. You throw me the rope of what you like. I'll grab it and try and build on it, because I need your attention.